Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is whenever you're tuning in to this video. And just thank you all for joining me. I'm coming to you live from Chiang Rai in northern Thailand, from the beautiful, wonderful center, the New Life Foundation. Now, if you've been tuning in to the previous episodes, you know I've been reading a poem and I've been reading a commentary that I wrote. These readings are out of my latest book entitled A Voice from the Ever Change, hence the title of the video series. Now this evening, it's evening now where I am, I'm going to go into a slight departure from that structure. I'm going to offer a meditation on loving kindness. Now, each episode I've been speaking a little bit about the healing properties of loving kindness, how love can really heal the human race from this disease that we're suffering from at this point. I know that. I know it. I've seen the healing power of loving kindness in my own life many, many, many times over again. I'm a firm believer in the power of loving kindness. I've done these practices for, over 20 years now. So I know these practices fluently and intimately, and I know how strong they can be for the heart, the healing powers, not only for ourselves, but for all of humanity. Okay, now that being said, I'm going to talk a little bit about the meditation of loving kindness. So it's kind of like a sandwich, if you will. The bread slices, or the ends of the sandwich, are a present moment awareness. So I'll guide us into present moment awareness. And today I think we'll start by using the sounds of the present moment. And I'll guide all of this in a few moments, once we get started. So we'll start the sounds of the present moment. Sounds are always right now. The sounds that you hear are always in the present moment. So we'll focus on sounds, and we'll bring our awareness through the body and then into the breath, coming into the present moment from the outside in, if you will. Then we'll rest in the present moment just for a few moments, a few minutes or so. And then we'll offer what's known as metta phrases, or loving kindness phrases. We bring these phrases into our own heart. And so we'll bring the first phrase into the heart. That phrase is, "May I be happy." And so we let that phrase hit the heart, bringing it into the heart, as if we were bringing our heart the most precious, rare gift. And we bring that phrase, that gift, into the heart, and then we visualize or imagine what our life would look and feel like if that phrase was completely reflective of our life circumstance. And so we'll sit with that for maybe a minute or 90 seconds, really visualizing, imagining that. There might be a resistance that comes up. That's normal. We don't try to change anything. We don't try to force ourselves to feel in any particular way. We simply notice, there's a resistance to that. Or we might bring the metta phrase into the heart, and there could be an opening, a warmth to that phrase. That's great too. Just observe that. Don't try to change anything. You might not feel anything at all, and that's fine. Some people come to a loving kindness practice and they bring the phrases into their heart and they don't feel much. That's actually quite normal, particularly if you've never done loving kindness practice before. Just know that you're not doing it wrong. But what's happening there is we're planting the seeds of loving kindness into the heart, so that when we continue a loving kindness practice, eventually those seeds begin to bear fruit. So we'll do these loving kindness phrases, offering these phrases to our own heart first. And then we'll visualize ourselves bringing that loving kindness to the world. And so in that stage of the practice, we visualize the whole world seated in front of us. All race, all creed, all economic background, all political ideology, all sexual preference and orientations, everyone. We're all here together. And then we offer these very precious gifts of loving kindness to the world. Now I mentioned that sandwich structure, right? So after we offer this loving kindness to the world, that's kind of the meat of the sandwich, or the salad if you're vegan. And then we do the other end, the other slice of bread. We come back to the present moment. Again, hearing the sounds, feeling the body, feeling the breath, and we just rest with the present moment there for a minute or so, and then I'll ring the bell. We'll be finished. So that's loving kindness practice. I know you're excited. I am too. So I'll ring the bell and we'll begin. So it's meditation time. Allowing the body, mind, and heart to rest. Simply settling into this present moment experience. And as you rest, noticing any sounds which might be arising. Any sounds. Could be the sound of an air conditioner or a heater. There might be the sound of a bird singing, or perhaps music coming from a neighbor's radio or television. Not focusing on any one sound, but noticing the entire field of sound. Hearing all of the sounds all at the same time. And in addition to any sound, paying close attention to the quality of still silence, which surrounds the present moment. There's always a backdrop of silence to each experience. More accurately, each experience arises out of that backdrop of silent space. And so we'll simply rest there for a few moments, resting with the sounds and the silence. Just listen, there's no effort, just rest. And now, while resting with the sound and silence, bringing attention to the sensations of clothing against the shoulders, noticing the arms resting against the body, the hands resting against the body or touching each other. There might be sensations of clothing against the back, sensations of the body against the chair, cushion, floor, or mat. You might notice sensations of clothing against the legs, the feet against the mat or the floor. And as you breathe in and breathe out, you might also notice sensations arising from the top of the head, allowing awareness to include the back of the head. There might be sensations arising from the ears, the sides of the neck, and the back of the neck. And as you inhale and exhale, allowing awareness to expand into the face, noticing any sensations arising from the cheeks of the face, the chin, the lips, the nose, the eyes, sensations arising from the forehead, and back to the top of the head. And while resting in this present moment experience, noticing the silence, the sound, noticing sensations arising throughout the body, bringing attention to the breath as it enters and leaves the nose. There might be a cool or a dry sensation there. You might notice the breath touching the back of the throat. The rib cage expanding and contracting as you inhale and exhale. You might also notice the abdomen rising and falling with each breath. Perhaps also noticing the back moving out slightly as you breathe in as you breathe out. Noticing the shoulders rising and falling with each breath. And so we'll rest right there just for a few moments, maintaining awareness on the sounds and the silence of the present moment, sensations of the body and breath, and just rest, breathing in and breathing out. And if at any time during this meditation practice you find you're distracted by your thoughts, you can simply label those thoughts with the word thinking, which will allow the thoughts to dissolve, and gently return back to the present moment experience. And now, while resting in the present moment, the sounds and silence, sensations of body and breath, we'll begin offering these very precious phrases of loving kindness to our own heart, as if we were offering our heart the most precious, rare gift. As we bring each phrase to the heart, we visualize or imagine what our life might look and feel like if each phrase was completely reflective of our life circumstance. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live a life of peace without struggle. May I open to things just as they are. May I experience the world opening to me just as I am. May I welcome whatever arises. And breathing in and breathing out, we'll begin to offer those very precious gifts of loving kindness to the entire world. And how I do this in my practice, I visualize a big, big theater with people from all over the world sitting in the theater. There are people from all religions, all race, all economic backgrounds, all political ideologies, all sexual preferences and orientations, all economic backgrounds, all creeds. We're all here. We're all here together. Because we are all really all here together in this world. And we send these very, very precious gifts of loving kindness from our heart to the heart of everyone else in the world. You can even put some animals in the picture there. I like to do that as well. I'm an animal lover. Particularly cats. I'll have a bunch of cats there as well. Dogs might be your thing. You can send loving kindness to dogs and cats, but people from all over the world. It's the idea. And as we offer those phrases of loving kindness to the hearts of everyone, we visualize what the world would look like if these phrases were completely reflective of everyone's life circumstance. What that would look and feel like. That's why there's so much space in between each phrase. We visualize, we imagine what the world would look like if each phrase was completely reflective of the world's life circumstance. May we all be happy. May we all be healthy. May we all live a life of peace, without struggle. May we all open to things just as they are. May we all experience the world opening to us, just as we are. May we welcome whatever arises. May we all be happy. May we all be healthy. May we all live a life of peace, without struggle. May we all open to things just as they are. May we all experience the world opening to us just as we are. May we welcome whatever arises. May we all be happy. May we all be healthy. May we all live a life of peace without struggle. May we all open to things just as they are. May we all experience the world opening to us just as we are. May we welcome whatever arises. And breathing in and breathing out, allowing any visualizations in your mind's eye to dissolve. You can allow those to fade back into the open, spacious awareness from which they came. Bringing attention and awareness to any sounds which might be arising in this present moment experience. Simply listening to the universe orchestrate the soundtrack of this very present moment. Noticing the silent space which permeates each experience as well. And while resting in this present moment, the sounds and the silence, bringing attention to any sensations arising from the feet, perhaps noticing the feet against the mat or floor, noticing sensations of clothing against the legs, noticing the weight of the body against the chair or cushion, mat or floor. Allowing awareness to include the sensations of clothing resting against the back. And as you breathe in and breathe out, you might also notice sensations of hands touching each other or resting against the body. There might be sensations of clothing against the arms. Noticing the shoulders rising and falling with each breath. And allowing awareness to include any sensations arising from the back of the neck, the sides of the neck. There might be sensations arising from the ears, the back of the head. Allowing awareness to include sensations arising in the face, allowing the cheeks to relax, noticing sensations arising from the chin, the lips, the nose and the eyes, sensations arising in the forehead and the top of the head. And while resting there in the present moment experience of the sounds and silence, sensations arising throughout the body, bring attention to the breath as it enters and leaves the nose. Noticing the breath as it touches the back of the throat, the rib cage expanding and contracting as you inhale and exhale, the abdomen rising and falling with each breath. You might notice the back moving out as you inhale and in as you exhale. And again, the shoulders rising and falling with each breath. And so we'll rest right there just for a few moments, allowing any loving kindness that arose during this practice to settle, allowing the mind, body, and heart to settle. Just rest. So that was my loving kindness offering, my metta offering to you all. I hope that was well received and enjoyed. Now, as you noticed, or as I mentioned at the beginning of this, thank you, Linda. At the beginning of this, I took a little departure from the structure that I anticipated doing. I was reading a poem that I wrote at the beginning of each meditation and reading a commentary. All of that is from my book, my new book that I just published called A Voice from the Ever-Change. And by the way, I've been getting lots of requests for PDFs for the book. Please send those requests along if you'd like a copy of the new book. I'll send it out for free. And so then if you like, when I resume that structure, you can read along. Many people have found that to be quite helpful to read along as I'm reading on the video, which I will start that structure again on Monday. Tomorrow I'm doing a Q&A session, so do send those questions along and I'll be addressing any questions or concerns in tomorrow's episode. So why did I venture forth into loving kindness practice today rather than doing this reading? Well, the world situation right now, I know everybody's aware of this. The whole world, actually the whole world has come together to try to heal from this sickness. There's no metaphor there. We're actually literally coming together as one to heal from sickness. That's exactly what loving kindness practice is designed to address. Now, there are many, many parallels between what the world is experiencing now and what I experienced myself personally during September 11th, 2001, when I was in New York City. And as a result of that experience, I was sent reeling into a post-traumatic stress disorder for about 2 years. Loving kindness practice was very, very key to my recovery from that mind state. So anybody who's watching this, if you're feeling this trauma of the world's pain body, as Eckhart Tolle would call it, loving kindness can really help. Now, if you're not sure where to get loving kindness instructions, well, this video will be posted on my Facebook page, on my YouTube channel, on my website. I also have several loving kindness recordings on YouTube, on my website. Please do feel free. That's all for free. Go there, access the videos. Also, Sharon Salzberg has a wonderful, wonderful book simply entitled Loving Kindness. Highly recommend that book, particularly in times such as these. May we all be happy. There's no other more healing sentiment than that, right? May we all be healthy. Well, need I say more? May we all live a life of peace without struggle. Now here's where I get some resistance when I offer these phrases to people, particularly if people are working in hospitals right now or on the front lines, whatever those front lines may be. How can we live a life without struggle? Very, very challenging. I recognize that. But each time we step back and rest into what's happening in the present moment, we're more effective when we move forward to address what's happening. When there's that sense of struggle, our energy is divided into pushing away what's happening and addressing the present moment at the same time. May we all live a life free from struggle so that we can embrace what's arising right now. That leads to the next phrase. May I open to things just as they are. Because again, if I'm struggling against what is, I'm no longer completely 100% addressing the issue of now. Now again, I know I can sit here in the comfort of my home talking about this. It's much different when we're on the front line. This is a practice. So if you find yourself frustrated trying to do these things, remember it always move forward with a feather-light touch, always with the heart of compassion for yourself. May we experience the world opening to us just as we are. Beautiful. Could you imagine a world where everyone experienced the world opening to them just as they are? There'd be no racism, no division, no violence, no sense of enemy. There'd be nothing to hide and nowhere to hide and no reason to hide. Wow. May we welcome whatever arises. Well, there we go, back into that idea of being able to embrace the present moment, not being divided into pushing against what's arising and trying to address the situation at the same time. Generally, when people do that, when we do that, we fall into some reactive pattern, some pattern of defense, some sort of shutting down or denial. May we welcome whatever arises so that we can be present with what's arising and move forward in that presence. Thank you all for joining me. I will see you all again tomorrow for the Q&A. Have a great night if you're watching this live. Have a great morning if you're tuning in from the United States or Europe. Wherever you are, be well, be safe, be at peace. May your heart be filled with love.